Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Quick update for Wednesday, May 24th, and tonight we had NVDA earnings, and this bad boy is going apeshit, up $75, which is about 25%. So a pretty big move nonetheless. So 380. We can't even see 380 on the chart. We got to drag it down here. So tomorrow morning, if this all sticks, we should open up somewhere in this neighborhood. Not too far off from the big 400. So assuming that holds, we got brand new all-time highs here coming for NVIDIA. And I think just further proof here that right now, big money is loving anything AI related. Alright, it's all about the AI.
Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for.
So NVIDIA looking like a beast. But as far as the rest of the market here, and of course the question tomorrow is, do we get any any reaction throughout the rest of the market to the huge move there in NVIDIA? Couple things here though, guys. So for what it's worth, technology still looks really good. Semiconductors look really good, but as far as the market itself, remember we came into the week, and I thought we were locked and loaded here for the breakout. We had squeezes, we had buy signals, and they kind of flirted with the idea of finally getting the job done and taking out that 4,200 level earlier in the week, and we've gotten a little bit of a flush ever since. So a couple of things here. The biggest thing, of course, we're back under the daily 21 EMA. We have lost our daily buy signal. And now we got sell signals here on the 1 hour and the 30-minute chart. And mind you, we still have that daily squeeze here. So as far as playing the squeeze game, above that 21 EMA, with nothing but buy signals across your lower time frames, you look for that squeeze to fire long. Under the 21, with sell signals on lower time frames, you do typically look for that to fire short. So, best case scenario here for the bulls, I think to avoid a flush down towards that 40-50 level. And mind you guys, we're still trading in the box. Right, going on 2 months now. We've been chopping in the box. But as far as in the short term, I think the best case scenario for the bulls, if anything, into Friday's close, to try to get price back above that daily 21 EMA. From there, the lower time frames can rebuild, and then maybe they take another shot there at that 4,200. But under your 21, sell signals on lower time frames, we could come down a little bit more. And then as far as a few bigger picture things, if you look at the junk bonds here, HYG, you got some problems developing on this end as well. So usually, if we're trying to see the equities market continue to trade higher, you kind of want HYG to lead the way, or at least have a good-looking chart. So some problems here. We have a daily bear squeeze, so a daily squeeze into sell signal, and we have the same thing setting up on the 2-day chart. So nested bear squeezes, and some sell signals from the 4-hour, the 2-hour, the 1 hour down to the 30. So again, playing the probabilities game, you're under your 21. You get a bunch of sell signals telling you path of least resistance is to the downside. If they can't quickly clean that up back above 74.5, you probably see that daily squeeze fire short, and you could see that domino effect where the 2-day squeeze also triggers short, and usually that's not going to bode well for the market. So again, best case scenario for the bulls, HYG pumps back above that 74.5 level. So keep a close eye on that, and then the dollar. The almighty dollar. Pretty good rebuild here. Pretty good rebuild. So they took it down to key support. And things are starting to clean up here a bit. We've got buy signals on the daily, the 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour, and the 30-minute. And then down here on the big 3 histogram, positive shift of momentum. But now here's the key. All right, you kind of saw this cleanup back here in late February, early March. Big shift in momentum, big pump to the upside. First pull back to the 21 EMA. and the thing totally fell apart, which again usually is pretty good for the market. So I think the big test here is going to be the next flush. If that next flush actually behaves like something that wants to trend higher, meaning we find support, we continue to print buy signals, these are some things to keep in mind. Strength in the dollar and then weakness in the junk bonds. Doesn't mean the market has to fall apart. If anything, though, it can potentially spoil the fun. So even though QQQ looks perfectly fine here, up about $5 in the after hours, right? No red flags, no warning signs, no sell signals, no problems. And then the semiconductors here, this of course is going to pop pretty hard tomorrow. So in the after hours, SMH trades 136. Yeah, so huge move here coming in the semis. So point being, everything that's been leadership as of late still continues to look pretty good. The Amazons, the Googles, the Microsofts, the NVIDIAs, the AMDs, all is good in paradise. But be mindful that behind the scenes, the S&Ps do get a little bit suspect here, back under that 21 EMA. And then you got some things setting up over in HYG and the Dixie. So all that means is play the chart in front of you, but as always, manage your risk. So as far as a few trade ideas here, guys, again, chances are everything semiconductor related. Probably going to gap up pretty good tomorrow. So the idea of buying names like AMD on a dip or an LRCX on a dip, we might have to keep waiting for that dip. Let me see AMD. AMD trades, wowza, 117 in the after hours. So that takes this puppy back to a level where I'm not going to buy it. Yeah, that's pretty big time stuff. So chances are there will be no dip to buy in the semiconductors tomorrow. But the chart that I do want to show you in SMH is over here on the weekly and the 3-day. Even with the gap up coming tomorrow, we got a brand new weekly bull squeeze, right? A blue dot and a green arrow. And we got a pretty good looking 3-day bull squeeze. Alright, so again, you're looking for continuation. Had a nice push higher. You pulled back to a buy zone. You found some support. And unless the market gets totally hammered here, the next 2 to 4 to 6 plus weeks, I think we're looking for continuation higher out of these squeezes. So the key, of course, is try to get a good entry on the flush. So no such dip to buy in the semis just yet. And then one name that we did take an entry in today in the Mastery was Netflix here. So Netflix pulls back to the daily 8 EMA, which when something is moving and grooving, a lot of times that 8 EMA is going to be your momentum support. You can't hold your 8 EMA, you probably come down to that 21. So we did some put credit spreads here today for, I want to say June 23rd expiration. We went like 30 or so days out to expiration. And the goal here, guys, is trying to catch that weekly squeeze. You give this thing 3 to 4 to maybe 8 weeks. Weekly squeeze, at least for now, should fire to the upside. And from there, I think you're looking for a push back towards that 400 level. So that's what we're looking for here in Netflix. And then over in the options room, we did take an entry into some call debit spreads on Tesla yesterday. And while things did get a little bit sloppy here today, does a pretty good job of holding structure. So we recently got the positive cross of momentum on the Big 3 histogram. And today you do a pretty good job here of holding the line at that daily 8 EMA. So from here, we're looking for a push back towards that 190-ish. You take out 190. Your daily 200 SMA is right up here in this neighborhood. 200 to about 205. So we got a little bit of Tesla, we got some Netflix, and we'll see what's up here tomorrow, guys. But for now, my best pick for you is the Netflix Weekly Squeeze. And my wild card pick for you here is Roku. So Roku gets a little bit interesting. It's not super strong in the sense of an uptrend, But you are getting a pretty good shift here. So daily histogram crosses positive. We're doing that in a daily squeeze. So what I'm looking for here is like that slingshot dynamic. All right, drag the squeeze lower. They don't quite get it to fire short. And from there, you snap back to that 21 and potentially a little bit higher. So daily squeeze is setting up, and we got some buy signals here on the 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, and the 5 minute. So I think a dip to a 30 minute 21 or an hourly 21 could offer a pretty interesting entry. Actually, for tomorrow, you got a fresh bull squeeze here on the hourly chart. All right, so a little bit of a dip. Might look to snag a couple cheap calls here. So Roku's interesting. We're going to keep an eye on Tesla. We like Netflix, and then at some point here, once NVIDIA's done going up 300%, we're going to try to buy a dip here in the semiconductors. All the while, we'll keep an eye on the S&Ps. We'll keep an eye on them junk bonds and the Dixie, and we'll keep on taking this thing day by day. But as always, guys and gals, hope you find it helpful. Appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Adios.